Welcome back. In this video we'll discuss the Amazon console. So when you first log into the Amazon console, you'll notice a few things here. Let me go ahead and bring it up. So in the console you'll have the services tab in the left corner. When you do the drop down, you'll get a listing of all the services that are broken out in categories. You'll see recent services that you've visited. And then you'll have the account name listed on the right with the account options. You can go to the billing dashboard, etc. You'll see the region that you're in, or if you're global, and then you can get support. But the console is just the web interface that we can use to manage all of our cloud resources, and utilizing the web browser. So we can manage our compute, storage, networking, and more. And the console is what you will choose if you want to do things using a point-and-click interface. Each service has its own service console, and some services such as CloudWatch and AWS Billing and Cost Management offer visual reports that can be viewed and downloaded. Most of the settings in your AWS resources can be configured using the console. There are some that you require the command line interface, the CLI, but most of those are advanced options that you won't need to know about unless you pursue advanced certifications. But for the cloud practitioner, those options are not going to be needed. So let's go here, and so to access the console, right, you go to console.aws.amazon.com. And there's two ways to sign in. You can sign in as the root user, or you use a user account for logging in. And so we'll create various users, and you can log in as a user, or you can log in as the account root user. And then each service has its own console where you can manage the resources that are part of that service. Choosing the service link at the top of the management console will let you search for a service by name in the search box, or you can browse services grouped by their category. Right? Choosing a service name will bring you to that service console for that service. For example, if we go and choose service, right, and then EC2, right, it'll bring up the EC2 console, right, and we can manage our EC2 instances from here. Similarly, we could search and do RDS, and then we can go over to the RDS service console. And now we're in the RDS console, and now we can manage database instances and create a database, because that is what the RDS service is. It's our relational database service, RDS. And so you can search for a service, or you can browse for a service. Either option works in the console. services that you use frequently, you can pin shortcuts to the navigation bar. Just choose the push pin icon and drag the service to the navigation bar. So I have not done this, but let's see here. So I'm not seeing it. I mean, I could see where you can make a favorite and put it as a favorite. Yeah, so it looks like they've changed it to where you can make it favorites. So I'll make a couple here that I know I'll be using. Right. So you can create shortcuts to the most frequently used services. So it's fairly easy. And then, of course, most services are region-based, region-specific. For example, EC2 services in the U.S. East region is separate from the EC2 service in the U.S. West region. So if you select the region from the navigation bar using the region selector, and some services such as IM, Route 53, and S3 are global, so you don't have to worry about that. But consequently, the service consoles for these global services don't use the region selector. Instead, they display global in the selector. So once again, so the RDS is regional, right? So we can drop down and we could select different regions, like U.S. East 1. So now we're in Virginia instead of Ohio, or we could go to Oregon, right? U.S. West 2. Go back to Ohio. But then, of course, some services are global, like S3 is global and it will register as global. Alright, and then we have the account name menu. Right, so this displays the IAM username, right? This is the IAM user, well, the account name, and the name associated with the account, and you got my account link that takes you to the billing service console page and display your account information. My organization takes you to the AWS organization service consoles. My service quotas, right? It gives you information about the service quotas, and then your billing dashboard. And then you won't have this, but I'm actually logged in from another account, and we'll talk about how you do that. But I'm leveraging my other account, and I am switching roles over into this TCC dev account. So I'm actually not signed in with the root user or a user in this account. I have another account that I'm using to manage this account, which makes it convenient. So I only have to remember and log into one account and not just switch over to this account. It makes it convenient. But this is the totally separate TCC account that I only use for TCC stuff. So, alright, and then of course you can sign out. But yeah, So you'll have switch roles here if you have any roles, and so I have multiple roles here defined. And let's see here. All right. Oops. Selecting a region and resource groups. All right, resource groups. With resource groups, I'm going to go ahead and talk about resource groups in the next video. I think the next sections here with tagging and resource groups is big enough, so that we'll cover that in the next video lecture.